नमस्कार. जय श्री कृष्ण. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर, श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा. Enunciating text 32 and text 33 of chapter 21, conversation between Manu and Kardama of third canto, the status quo of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 32. सहाहम स्वांशकलया त्वदवीर्येण महामुने तव क्षेत्रे देवहूत्यां प्रणेष्ये तत्वसंहिताम्. O great sage, I shall manifest my own plenary portion through your wife Devhuti along with your 9 daughters, and I shall instruct her in the system of philosophy that deals with the ultimate principles or categories. Herein the word Swamshakalaya indicates that the Lord would appear as the son of Devhuti and Kardam Muni as Kapil Dev, the first propounder of the Sankhya philosophy, which is mentioned here as Tattva Samhita. The Lord foretold to Kardam Muni that he would appear in his incarnation Kapil Dev and would propagate the philosophy of Sankhya. Sankhya philosophy is very well known in the world as propagated by another Kapil Dev, but that Sankhya philosophy is different from the Sankhya which was propounded by the Lord himself. There are two kinds of Sankhya philosophy. One is godless Sankhya philosophy and the other is godly Sankhya philosophy. The Sankhya propagated by Kapil Dev, son of Devhuti, is godly philosophy. There are different manifestations of the Lord. He is one, but he has become many. He divides himself into two different expansions, one called Kala and the other Vibhinnamsha. Ordinary living entities are called Vibhinnamsha expansions, and the unlimited expansions of Vishnu Tattva such as Vaman, Govind, Narayan, Pradyumna, Vasudev and Ananta are called Swamsha Kala. Swamsha refers to a direct expansion and Kala denotes an expansion from the expansion of the original Lord. Baldev is an expansion of Krishna, and from Baldev the next expansion is Sankarshana. Thus Sankarshana is Kala, but Baldev is Swamsha. There is no difference however among them. This is very nicely explained in the Brahma Samhita 5.46. Diparchir eva hi dashantaram abhyupetya. With one candle, one may light a second candle, with a second a third, and then a fourth. And in this way, one can light up thousands of candles, and no candle is inferior to another in distributing light. Every candle has the full potential candle power, but there is still the distinction that one candle is the first, another the second, another the third, and another the fourth. Similarly, there is no difference between the immediate expansion of the Lord and his secondary expansion. The Lord's names are considered in exactly the same way. Since the Lord is absolute, his name, his form, his pastimes, his paraphernalia and his quality all have the same potency. In the absolute world, the name Krishna is the transcendental sound representation of the Lord. There is no potential difference between his quality, name, form, etc. If we chant the name of the Lord Hare Krishna, that has as much potency as the Lord himself. There is no potential difference between the form of the Lord whom we worship and the form of the Lord in the temple. One should not think that one is worshipping a doll or a statue of the Lord, even if others consider it to be a statue. Because there is not potential difference, one gets the same result by worshipping the statue of the Lord or the Lord himself. This is the science of Krishna's consciousness. Text 33 Maitreya Uvacha. Evam ta manu भाष्याथ भगवान प्रत्यग क्षजः जगाम बिंदु सरसः सरस्वत्या परिश्रितात. Maitreya went on, thus having spoken to Kardam Muni, the Lord who reveals himself only when the senses are in Krishna's consciousness departed from that lake called Bindu Sarovar, which was encircled by the river Saraswati. One word in this verse is very significant. The Lord is stated here to be Pratyaga Kshajah. He is imperceptible to material senses, but still he can be seen. This appears to be contradictory. We have material senses, but how can we see the Supreme Lord? He is called Adhokshaja, which means that he cannot be seen by the material senses. Akshaja means knowledge perceived by material senses. Because the Lord is not an object that can be understood by speculation with our material senses, he is also called Ajita. He will conquer, but no one can conquer him. What does it mean then? That still he can be seen. It is explained that no one can hear the transcendental name of Krishna, no one can understand his transcendental form, and no one can assimilate his transcendental pastimes. It is not possible. then how is it possible that he can be seen and understood? When one is trained in devotional service and renders service unto him, gradually one's senses are purified of material contamination. When one's senses are thus purified, then one can see, one can understand, one can hear, and so on. The purification of the material senses and perception of the transcendental form, name and quality of Krishna are combined together in one word, Pratyagakshajah, which is used here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.